some physical properties of ammonia. It is a colorless gas, but it has a strong pungent choking smell, and it brings tears to eyes. Okay, and it is slightly bitter in taste because it is basic in nature. It is non-poisonous, but if we inhale excess, that may lead to some danger. So it is lighter than air, that is why it is collected by the downward displacement of air, easily liquefy. We have seen how ammonia it is separated from nitrogen and hydrogen by liquefying, highly soluble in water, and this solubility we will have the fountain experiment to prove it. Now we will see the fountain experiment. What is the purpose of fountain experiment, or what is the aim of fountain experiment? Aim of fountain experiment, the same thing as we had discussed here, this HCl. This one will be first to show that ammonia it is highly soluble in water. Second one will be to show nature, to show its nature, whether alkaline or acidic, just to show. So the same thing, let us take here, we will take a container. Here we are taking this round bottom flask, we have inverted that one, and here there are two tubes we have taken. One tube it is connected. Obviously one thing here we can say that here means, so that here will be a stand, so that okay, let us see, just to understand that one. Here this one it is the stand which is holding, no space there, that is why I made it like this. So here inverted flask we have taken, and this within this inverted flask we have taken ammonia. It is taken here. Here we have taken two tubes. One tube it is we have taken, and here there will be one rubber, it is there, and within that water it is taken inside. And this one, what you can say, tube, or it is glass rod or glass pipe, it is the connection between these two. Okay, now it is ammonia taken. Here it is red litmus solution, it is taken, red litmus solution, it is taken here. Now what to do? As we have taken water here, now little you squeeze it will squeeze this rubber and leave. So when we are squeezing, then whatever water content here, water content will come outside. When water content will come outside, this ammonia will dissolve in water. Understood? When ammonia will dissolve in water, then some portion of ammonia will be less here. Now this one will be less amount of ammonia in comparison to previous one. So this one will be low pressure zone. Here this one, atmospheric pressure also act on it. Okay, so this one will be at high pressure. So as a result, what happens? Liquid or red litmus solution will push through this glass pipe or pipe and will reach here. When it will reach here, then this red color solution, whatever we have taken, that one will come out in the form of blue. So here this red litmus solution will turn as blue and it will come as a fountain. Okay, so as comes out fountain, it is known as fountain experiment. This nozzle I have made it is little pointed so that with high pressure this liquid can come outside. See that one here, it is red, while coming here it is changing to blue. So what does it mean? It is meaning that one, it is alkaline in nature. This one it is alkaline, that is why red litmus turns blue. and here it is soluble. So if the question comes what is the aim of this fountain experiment, 1 mark question, you write this one. This is for our understanding. This one will be additional, but if you are writing the first this, you may not get mark, but this one you have to write at the beginning. Understood? This is your fountain experiment, and ammonia is highly soluble in water. It is described here. Let us see the chemical properties of ammonia. Under chemical properties of ammonia, first of all we will go for combustibility. Combustibility. Okay, so combustibility means what? Burning in oxygen. Burning in oxygen, that is known as combustibility. Here we will see two cases. Here we will see that one when it is burning, this one will be in presence of catalyst, one will be in the absence of catalyst. So first one will be burning of ammonia in air. Burning of ammonia in air. Okay, now let us see that what will be the equation. All these are very important in the from this equation and observation question. Burning of ammonia in air. Here ammonia, it is neither combustible nor the supporter of combustion. Remember this one. Ammonia, it is neither combustible nor the supporter of combustion. Now let us see the reaction. Ammonia burns in oxygen, give rise to nitrogen plus water. Here this one will be 4, 3, 2, 6. 4, 3. So when ammonia burns in ammonia burns in air, it gives rise to nitrogen as the product. Here let us see what happens, what is the observation for it. Let us take a container. Okay, in this container let us have two pipes giving inside. This two pipe is that one will be for this ammonia gas, another one will be for oxygen, because it is the non-supporter of oxygen, the burning, no, and it does not burn also, non-combustible, non-supporter of combustion. So here oxygen is allowed to pass, here ammonia is allowed to pass. This is the container we have taken. Okay, let's close this one. So here this work is, it is providing oxygen. Now let us take a wool. This cotton let us take. Now here first of all this one we have taken, cotton we have taken, and here we see that when ammonia comes and burns here, it burns with a yellowish green flame. So here it is yellowish green flame. Okay, but for chlorine it is greenish yellow, it is yellowish green in color. So here this is the difference. What is the purpose of providing this cotton? Providing this cotton means here oxygen when it moves, diffusion will be uniform. Uniformly it can go this side so that it can burn properly. Okay, so this one will be 1 mark question if it is for name the gas. Otherwise this one will be greenish yellow flame. Another one. Okay. Next one I can take burning of ammonia in air in presence of catalyst. In presence of catalyst. So here what is the reaction? Ammonia plus oxygen in presence of platinum, 800 degrees Celsius, Here what we are getting? NO plus water. This is exothermic reaction. So obviously along with that one heat will be evolved. Let us balance this. So 4, this one will be 5, this one will be 4, this one will be 6. Now let us take here. Let us take a what you can say, glass apparatus. Let us take here. We are taking, this is the platinum gauge. Platinum gauze it is taken, it is heated from outside, it is the red hot condition. This one will be platinum, this one will be 800 degrees Celsius. Ammonia, dry ammonia to pass through it. Here, okay. Let's see that one here. Let me allow ammonia to pass. Here let me allow oxygen to pass. Okay, so both are going inside. So when it is in the red hot condition, it burns, it gives rise to NO. But one thing is, oxygen it is continuously we are supplying. That is why this NO will react with oxygen to give rise to NO2. To give rise to NO2. When this NO2 comes out, how it will look like? It is reddish brown fumes. Okay, so when dry ammonia and oxygen it is passed, well obviously in the ratio 1:2 it is allowed to pass. Here we are getting nitric oxide, and here along with that oxygen, because it is continuously oxygen is supplied now, oxidation takes place and we are getting NO2, which is reddish brown fumes. Okay, so this is the two question. If question will be in air only without a catalyst, then that one will be nitrogen. If in air, that one will be NO will be the product. Many children they write NO2 is the product, but don't go for the NO2 is the answer. NO is the, because this is the first product. This is the secondary product. Here something let me add here. This NO2, which one we are getting? This one will be outside. This one will be outside here. If one container will be there, or round bottom flask will be there. So along with that we are getting this NO comes out, and along with oxygen it will be NO2 is the product. Okay, so it is reddish brown fumes. All these will be can be collected here. Let us see another property of ammonia. Ammonia act as a reducing agent. That too it is a strong reducing agent. How this one will be strong reducing agent? Here, if ammonia reduces metallic oxide to respective metals. Okay, so metallic oxide to respective metals. Now let us see how this one can be possible. Let us take one equation for it. Here, if I allow this ammonia to dry, pure and pure ammonia to pass over copper oxide. What happens here? Here from copper oxide it will reduce copper oxide to metal oxide. I told metal oxide to metal, so copper oxide to copper. Along with that one getting nitrogen, and along with that one water will be the product. So this one will be 2, 3, then copper will be 3, and here this one will be 3. Amount of hot water will be 3. Okay, so here copper oxide changes to copper and ammonia is changes to nitrogen. It means removal of hydrogen. So removal of hydrogen, it is oxidation. Here removal of oxygen, removal of oxygen, it is reduction. So metal oxide reduced to metal in the presence of ammonia. So now here what happens? This experiment we are taking copper oxide. Copper oxide, this copper oxide, it is black in color. Okay, this copper oxide, this color is black. This black copper oxide will be taken, will be hitting outside. ammonia gas will pass through it. So obviously this one will be the product. Here this copper oxide black color will change to pinkish brown or brown copper. So this one you can write pinkish brown metal. Pinkish brown metal or brown metal also can be performed. So here when it is heated, this black color changes to the pinkish brown. Along with that one, nitrogen and water vapors will be out. So water vapor, when it is allowed to the U-tube, here we are taking, then this water will condense, will remain in the form of water, and here nitrogen will be collected by the downward displacement of water. Understood? So in place of this, so what will be the observation here? Black copper oxide changes to brown metal. Black copper oxide changes to brown metal. This is the observation, and this one is important. Next we will go for, if another one let us take, that one will be PbO. So if we are taking PbO color is buff yellow color. So here ammonia, it is allowed to pass. Here let us take from this side, ammonia, it is allowed to pass over PbO. What occurs here? We are getting lead, along with that one water, along with that one nitrogen. Okay, so here ammonia and water. So what is the color? Here color will be buff yellow color. Buff yellow color. Buff yellow color substance, it changes to grayish metal. Changes to grayish metal. Okay, the same procedure here. These are the two equations for us. And here another, this one will be next. So next one will be for this ammonia. Another one is a reaction of ammonia with chlorine. Here ammonia with chlorine. Here two things we will take. One will be excess of, in case of one will be excess of ammonia. Second case we will take excess of chlorine. This is the reaction. This is important. This acts as a reducing agent. This one, it is very important question. So now let us see, ammonia react with chlorine. So when excess of ammonia reacting with chlorine, here ammonia excess, let us write down this one, because this implies something else to us. Reacting with chlorine, it gives rise to ammonium chloride along with the nitrogen. So here this one will be 3, this one will be 6. All three cases we have seen nitrogen, it will be remain same. All these are tricks to remember, that is why I tell you. So ammonia reacting with chlorine give rise to ammonium chloride along with nitrogen. Now let us see when it is reacting with excess of chlorine. So here ammonia along with chlorine, we are taking chlorine here excess. What is the result here? Let us see. When excess of chlorine, we are getting the product as HCl plus NCl3. Nitrogen trichloride, its color is yellow. It is yellow liquid and it is explosive. Okay, here let us balance this one. This one will be 3 chlorine and here we are getting 3 HCl, NCl3. One will be excess of ammonia, one will be excess of chlorine. I always tell one thing to remember, when there will be excess of chlorine, the product we are getting NCl3 where chlorine part is more. Like this way you remember, it will be easy for you. Okay, so excess of chlorine, NCl3. NCl3, 3 part of chlorine are there. That is why remember that one. Okay, question here. What do you observe? So here you write in case of excess of chlorine, yellow liquid comes out. Here explosive, you may write, may not write, but yellow liquid is important. Here ammonium chloride, dense white fumes will be seen. Here this one will be nitrogen, this one will be HCl. And here question comes, this one will be gas, HCl gas. Name the acidic gas formed when ammonia react with excess of chlorine. Name the gas evolved when excess of ammonia react with chlorine. Okay, so this one will be observation. This is also this one will be important as observation and equation. Along with that one, name the gas. Next is ammonia, reaction of ammonia with acids. Okay, reaction of ammonia with acids. So here this ammonia you take, ammonia with HCl, that one will be, what is that? Ammonium chloride. Ammonia with HNO3, what we will get? Ammonium nitrate. Ammonia, or you can take that one with H2SO4. This one will be ammonium sulfate. H2SO4, this one will be ammonium sulfate. Okay, so these are with the acids. So here liquid ammonia, aqueous ammonia or ammonium hydroxide, this react with all the salts to give the respective hydroxide. So here let it be FeSO4 reacting with ammonium hydroxide. What will be the product? The same as we have discussed in analytical chemistry. Here this one will be ammonium sulfate along with that FeOH whole twice. Okay, so this one will be, for this one, this color will be dirty green. This one will be dirty green precipitate. And in excess, this one will be dropwise, and here in excess, that one will be same insoluble dirty green precipitate will be formed. Here the next we will go for FeCl3 with ammonium hydroxide. What we are getting? This one will be ammonium chloride along with that one FeOH whole thrice. So here what we are getting, this one it is reddish brown precipitate, and this one will be dropwise. Here in case of excess, this one it is insoluble and it gives rise to reddish brown. The same reddish brown precipitate will remain. Then now let us see this zinc sulfate along with ammonium hydroxide dropwise. It gives rise to zinc hydroxide, which is gelatinous white precipitate. When excess of ammonium hydroxide is added to the gelatinous white precipitate, a complex salt is formed which is soluble, and it gives a colorless solution. It gives a colorless solution. Next one we will go for copper sulfate solution. When ammonium hydroxide is added dropwise first to copper sulfate solution, then we are getting this pale blue precipitate is obtained. When excess of ammonium hydroxide is added, this one it is inky blue solution is formed. Inky blue solution is formed. It means that this pale blue precipitate is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Okay, so all these are the chemical properties of ammonia. Now let us little distinguish between liquid ammonia and liquor ammonia. Okay, along with these properties. Now we will go for liquid ammonia and liquor ammonia. Liquid ammonia. What is this liquid ammonia? Liquid ammonia, it is ammonia in liquefied form. In the liquefied form. So here, when temperature is lowered, all the gases comes to the liquid state. So here it is the liquid state. But here, what important thing the mean to say, this liquid ammonia does not show its basic property. It does not show its basic property. It does not turn red litmus paper blue, because it does not show this property. Only the basicity or acidity of the gases can be shown in presence of water. Then liquor ammonia. Here ammonia in water. When ammonia dissolves in water, that one will be liquor ammonia. Okay, and here this one liquid ammonia, it shows basic property. Okay, it turns red litmus paper blue. Here conducts electricity, here does not conduct electricity. Okay, so this is a difference between liquid ammonia and liquor ammonia. Let us see test for ammonia. So for HCl we have taken let us take a rod dipped with ammonia, brought near the mouth of this jar of HCl. It gives dense white fumes. Here let us take a glass rod dipped in HCl, brought near the jar of ammonia. What does it gives? It gives dense white fumes. This is because this ammonium chloride will be formed. Second one, it can be this copper sulfate solution, which one we have taken here. Copper sulfate solution along with that one ammonia. When ammonia gas pass through copper sulfate solution. Okay, so the same thing only. Children, they will usually get confused. Here copper sulfate, ammonium hydroxide, or copper sulfate solution, it is ammonia gas is passed through it. The same thing only. Here it gives first of all a pale blue precipitate of this one, which will be copper hydroxide. Okay, this one we have already seen this last page. Now in excess of ammonia passes through it, then it gives inky blue solution. This pale blue precipitate turn to inky blue solution. This is another test. And the third test will be, it turns Nessler's reagent brown. So third one, it is turns Nessler's reagent What is Nessler's reagent? Nessler's reagent is K2HgI4, potassium mercuric iodide. It turns Nessler's reagent pale brown, or only it can, if you are writing in the bracket means that one it is not compulsory, optional. So it turns Nessler's reagent brown. It is colorless, and it is colorless too. It is brown, and some cases also excess of ammonia passes. Excess of ammonia it gives brown precipitate. Excess of ammonia, it gives uses of ammonia. First of all, let us see liquid ammonia and liquid ammonia, how they are used. This liquid ammonia act as a cleaning agent. Cleaning agent. Why it is act as a cleansing agent? Because it emulsifies the fat. It emulsifies the fat or grease. It emulsifies the fat or fats, or it emulsifies the fats, or it can say grease. Here emulsifies means dissolves. It dissolves this one, and here it can be removes oil or grease stain from cloth. And here this one also used as cleaning window glasses, window pans, and here this one is some other, this one it is window pans, it can be used to clean. Okay, then we will go for liquid ammonia. Okay, and this liquid ammonia act as a refrigerant. This one is important. Refrigerant in ice plants. Why? This one is why it is act as a cleaning agent, because emulsifies or dissolves the fats or grease. Liquid ammonia, it is the refrigerant in ice plants. Why this one? Here first answer you write due to high latent heat of evaporation. Due to high latent heat of evaporation. Second one, it easily liquefy. It easily liquefy under pressure at low temperature. Okay, that is why. And here after that one absorbs large amount of heat. Okay, so here what happens, easily liquefy under pressure at low temperature. Therefore this liquid ammonia evaporate, it's relatively large amount of heat is absorbed from this surrounding. They absorb large amount of heat from the surrounding. And last one, it is highly volatile. It is highly volatile. That is the reason why all these are used in the ice plants. Okay, so other also are there. Those are used in the urea. Other uses of ammonia are also there. In case of fertilizers, these two are most important. Fertilizer, this can be used, urea, and here this can be used as the explosive, because ammonium nitrate. This one is ammonium nitrate. This can be used in the explosive, dyes and drugs. So it can be used in the preparation of artificial silk, dry cell, ammonium chloride can be, and the dyeing industries it can be used, and it is ammonium salt. This one it is ammonium carbonate. So all these are about ammonia.